Guy, so if there's one housemate who has completely confused his viewers this season of Big Brother Mzansi season 6, it has to be King Wanda. Because at the beginning, many of us saw him as the witty one, the playful truth teller, the guy who could roast you, make you laugh, and still somehow sound wise. He wasn't just comic relief. He felt like a social commentator inside the house. But lately, guys, something has shifted, and viewers and fans are asking what happened to King Wanda. So let's talk about it. We all remember how King Wanda built his brand in the house. He mastered humor. He would wrap uncomfortable truth inside jokes. He would laugh while delivering sharp observations. Sometimes it landed softly, sometimes it felt like a jab, but most times it didn't feel malicious. That was his magic. He read energy well. He avoided unnecessary drama. He seemed emotionally intelligent. Even when he sensed certain housemates didn't vibe with him, he didn't force friendships. But recently, the dynamic between King Wanda and the other housemate, especially Thandeka and Millie, has taken a different turn. It started looking less like playful banter, more like something heavier. So the other day when Thandeka called him a cute ass panda, it seemed harmless, right? But his response contradicted the whole thing. He started calling her Satan and continuing to sing it repeatedly in the kitchen. And what made it even more uncomfortable was that she joined in the singing. That's Thandeka joined them while they were singing. That moment felt awkward. Not funny, not witty, just so strange. Then, shortly after, King Wanda claimed that Thandeka was bullying him and triggering him. Who does that? Now, here is where the fans became divided. Some people feel King Wanda is being provoked and reacting emotionally. Others believe he's playing victim while constantly throwing derogatory names like witch toward Thandeka. So something happened after the gym, that's around 8 a.m. happened after gym some few days ago, where he was referring to her as the witch enjoyed the session too. Didn't sound like a playful prophecy, or does it? It sounded personal, and that's the difference, because the King Wanda we knew before would tease everyone equally. His jokes felt observational, not targeted, but lately it feels like the humor has narrowed down to specific people, especially to Thandeka and sometimes Millie. So what is this? Is it an obsession, jealousy, strategy, or emotional immaturity? Because let's break this down now. One possibility is that King Wanda feels threatened. In a game like Big Brother, attention is currency, and Thandeka, love her or hate her, commands attention. So she has survived several nominations. That's from onset. She trends, she sparks conversations on every social media space. So if King Wanda prides himself on being the social reader of the house, maybe he's uncomfortable that someone else is commanding the narrative, right? Another possibility could be emotional projection. King Wanda has openly talked about struggling socially growing up. So when someone doesn't validate him or respond how he expects, it might hit deeper than he lets on. So instead of withdrawing like before, he may now be reacting defensively, masking hurt with harsher humor. Because let's be honest, when jokes turn repetitive and targeted, they stop being jokes. And fans are noticing that the prophet energy, the insightful, self-aware King Wanda seems quieter lately. Instead, we are seeing some kind of irritation, frustration, name calling, and that's confusing for fans who rooted for him genuinely. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Big Brother exposes people living in a confined space under pressure with cameras 24/7 amplifies traits. The good becomes better and the bad becomes louder. Maybe this is not a new King Wanda we know. Maybe this is just the King Wanda without the filter. It's also important to acknowledge something else: perception. So inside the house, dynamics feel different from outside. What we see as harsh may feel like banter to them. Thandeka singing along might suggest she doesn't perceive it as deeply offensive, right? Or maybe she's choosing peace. But we don't really know. But what we do know is this: when someone repeatedly uses words like Satan or witch, even jokingly, it changes the energy completely. Words carry weight. I hope we all know. And for someone who built his brand on being intentional with words, this shift feels ironic. Now, the big question is this: is King Wanda spiraling, or is this a strategy? In Big Brother history, controversy keeps you relevant. So the more people talk about you, the longer you stay in conversations, whether you're loved or criticized. Being talked about is powerful. So could Wanda be leaning into the villain energy, or is he genuinely feeling bullied and just handling it poorly? Another angle to consider is vulnerability. Sometimes when someone feels emotionally exposed, they lash out. So it's easier to attack than to admit hurt. So if King Wanda feels excluded, misunderstood, or insecure about his position in the game, aggression disguised as humor could be his shield. Or is he trying to inherit beefs that are not his? Yes, he's in a clique, right? So it's possible he's trying to inherit beefs of his friends in the likes of Lieba, The Dawn, Eshe, Didi, and maybe Trixie. But here's the problem: the audience that once admired his emotional intelligence now sees contradiction. You can't be preaching awareness and then repeatedly call someone derogatory name. You can't position yourself as the truth teller and then claim victim when confronted. That's where the frustration from fans is coming from. And that's why social media is divided. Some say your favorite is a bully. Others say he's being triggered and reacting. And then there are those who simply miss the old Wanda, the funny prophet, the unpredictable commentator, the guy who made tension lighter instead of heavier. So what does this mean for his game? Is if King Wanda recalibrates, if he brings back the humor without the hostility, he can recover. Reality TV audiences love redemption arcs. But if he continues targeting specific housemates, especially women, the narrative may shift permanently against him, because perception in this game is everything. So right now, King Wanda is at a crossroad. Will he lean into growth and self-awareness, or will he double down and let ego drive him? One thing is certain: the house is watching, the fans are watching, and this season is no longer giving anyone a cent edit. King Wanda once stood out because in a house full of patients, he joked but told the truth. Now the question is he still telling the truth, or is he fighting battles inside himself that are starting to spill onto others? So let me know what you think, guys. Is this an obsession, a strategy, hurt, or just the real King Wanda finally showing? Because one thing about Big Brother, marks don't stay on forever, and we might just be witnessing one fall.